attendees. But enough of that. It is time to find out who will move on to the winner's match here at the Dailymotion Cup. Brought to you by Millennium TV. Spawning in the top left position of Belshir Vestige is the red Zerg player from Team Fnatic. He was ahead with that early lead in Game 1. Can he reclaim that lead and get to the winner's match? It is Zanster. And his opponent, spawning in the bottom right position as the red Zerg player from Team Evil Geniuses, it is Jaedong. Jaedong, it's kind of funny. He's one of those guys that's known for his ZVZ. I think last I checked, or at least the hype, basically makes it seem like this guy's got a 113.89% win ratio in ZVZ. He's actually really good. Of course, that's not possible because he did drop one of these maps to Zanster, which is a really nice level of mind games. But I think Jaedong playing a bit more conservatively is a smart thing to do, just considering that obviously there's not the craziest amount of fame associated with this. It's a bit of it's an online cup, but there's a good bit of money at stake. The player pool, the competition in this tournament is actually kind of crazy. Both players looking to go hatchery first. So let's take a brief cursory look at some of the other players you guys are going to see here at the Dailymotion Cup. Obviously, the other two players in this group are San from Yo Flash Wolves and Hyun from Quantic Gaming. But just a quick rundown of everybody else. We have Todd from XMG, Squirtle from IM, Millennium's 4GG, CM Storm's Pult, Acer's Innovation, as well as MMA. There's Check, Nurchio, Scarlet, Solar, and Life. So the level of competition in this tournament is actually disgusting. Considering that this is an online-only cup, the level of plays is actually really crazy with how good the guys that are competing for this are. As I said, it's a $4,000 first-place prize, which is pretty nice, actually. And no matter who you are, even Jaedong could think of something awesome to blow $4,000 on. So the setups beyond the hatcheries are pretty normal. We see that spawning pool, then gas for Zanster. Jaedong going gas, then pool. And Jaedong is actually going to have his Zergling speed starting about, once again, a minute or so ahead of his opponent, which we've kind of said isn't necessarily game-breaking as it didn't win in the first map, but it gives a nice little bit of an edge to your play if you want to be defensive or if your opponent does any type of fast speedling attack. Queens are on the way. Jaedong starts his Zergling speed. And of course, the faster Zergling speed can also lend itself to a faster Baneling nest if Jaedong really wanted to get aggressive. These Zerglings are moving down the field. Gonna get a little bit of scouting off for Zanster. Nothing really crazy, but there's that Baneling nest for Jaedong starting up in the natural. This is actually, I think, the first time we've seen him put it flush in the front. Right in front of the hatchery. This way the queen can tuck itself in between there, of course. I always love to harp on it because it's always interesting to see what Zerg players that don't don't put the Baneling nest in front. It's always kind of neat to see what they do, since oftentimes it can lead to some level of aggression or trying to bait out an attack. Zanster does have his Baneling nest in the way. I don't actually think this is completely flush. I think Zerglings can get in between this and the queen. But we'll have to see, I guess, if Jaedong decides to even do anything like that, because he's just droning up merrily away. We have 9 in the production tab for Zanster, 7 coming in for Jaedong, as well as, 6 Zerglings. He's actually opening himself up to maybe do a bit of a later attack. He's taking 2 gas geysers. So this is a different setup than we've seen Jaedong acquire in any of the maps, actually. He has the tower on the left side. He's got the right tower covered by this Overlord. He still has Zerglings on the map, so is Jaedong going to try to force another attack? Yeah, I think he could. He's just producing Zerglings right now. I want to see where these larvae go from this inject. Is he going to go purely into the Zerglings? He was waiting for an Overlord. So yeah, there it is. 16 more Zerglings. Jaedong, it looks like he wants to get very aggressive. Zanster, in the meanwhile, has started some Banelings of his own inside of his main base. Jaedong has yet to actually produce any Banelings, so I'm wondering if this is a pure Speedling attack. I think with the Baneling nest that Jaedong has and this double gas, this could just be an epic amount of Banelings he tries to throw at him. He might even go for something ridiculous. He's got 400 gas. He can make a ton of banelings. And so it begins. 4 on the way outside of Zanster's base. How many more are we going to see? Remember, guys, 2 banelings. Oh, yeah, that's a lot. 16 banelings on the way for Jaedong. It only takes 2 banelings to actually kill a baneling. So Zanster could try to throw his own and suicide them into Jaedong's, even though Jaedong has more. But these Zerglings are running around trying to grab a few drones. Won't be able to get into the main base just yet. Here comes the Bane Pain train from Jaedong. Will he get the trade that he wants? Zanster trying to split his banelings across Jaedong's, but there's still so much. Most of Zanster's banelings are gone. The drones taking huge losses. Jaedong blowing through the mineral line of Zanster. 2 more banelings are on the way in the natural, but that's not going to be enough. More Zerglings shooting across the field. Zanster's trying to cut the reinforcements up, and he actually does a great job of grabbing some of those, but these banelings are moving in, only grab a few drones. Can he get the money shot in this mineral line? There doesn't seem to be too many clumps. Another great shot. 5 drones pulverized there, and Jaedong just blasting forward. Has 40 drones compared to his opponent's 15, and he's just putting out Zerglings left and right. He's got a spine crawler in the front. He's adding on another spine crawler. He knows he has a fantastic position as far as economy goes. He just needs to defend the counterattack. There's so many Zerglings coming in for Zanster. Zanster starting up a couple of banelings himself, but is it going to be enough? I feel like he's just got to bring absolutely everything. There's no time to morph in banelings, or Jaedong might recover, but here we go. The Zerglings splitting off into the main base as well as the natural. Jaedong's in a pretty rough spot. All he needs to do is, well, he can actually lose almost half his drones and still be fine. He just needs to not lose absolutely everything. And the banelings are coming in. These Zerglings, this is it. He's managed to actually save most of his drones. There's still some Zerglings doing work in the natural mineral line, but the spine crawlers have finished, and these banelings are giving chase. Zanster is getting his own banelings, however, being morphed inside of Jaedong's base. He needs to be so careful. These drones moving back into mine. Those morphing banelings are eliminated, and I think Jaedong, he's cleared it out. Yeah, picks off all the Zerglings of Zanster, and Jaedong has the lair on the way as well. He's at 38 drones compared to 28, and he has to be feeling great about himself. Plus, he was forced to make so many Zerglings. He's just going to run back to the other side of the map. Zanster being forced to produce roaches, this is not a situation that you want to build roaches in. Mostly because he needs to build drones. He's behind in the economy, and Jaedong's just going to start streaming in. This queen is going to get grabbed. This drone's trying to get in some hand-to-hand combat versus the Zerglings, but it's not going to be enough. And I think Jaedong, he's got himself in a winning position almost. A couple more banelings are running in. There is a roach here. These Zerglings forcing these drones to get tied up, all clumped on each other, but still not having too much. Like, I think those banelings detonated on a roach, so not the best trade there. But Zanster has just lost so much. He's down to 15 drones. He's putting out a few more lings, and I think we're going to see Zanster go for the desperation all-in. He's just going to send everything he's got. There's no recovering economically from this position. Can Zanster make a last-ditch effort work? Can he somehow pull this series back by just throwing everything he has at Jaedong? I don't know. I think at this point, Jaedong could even just build 2 or 3 spines for the hell of it. No, he's going to build 11 roaches. He has more than enough, I think, to defend this. Can Zanster make us all believers? It's a question. I don't know. This is going to be really tough. He's at almost half the supply of his opponent. Jaedong posturing himself. He's lined the roaches up outside these double spine crawlers. And here come the roaches with the banelings. Can Zanster do it? There's so much defense here. Immediately gets shoved back. The Zerglings are here as well. There's not enough gas. Zanster, I don't think he's actually mining any gas anymore. No, he's taking all drones off gas mining. He just wants to put out as much minerals as he can. He's actually going back into drones. I think he's trying to maybe force Jaedong into over-defending, so that he can get up some sort of economy behind this, but he's only at 25 drones compared to Jaedong's 45, so Zanster playing a little bit of mind games again, but Jaedong comes in with the Overseer, and he sees this. He's like, oh, you're droning? Okay, I can probably just go kill you. And I think this is a really smart play from Zanster. He's just been running these Zerglings around nonstop. The way these Zerglings are positioned, it's really good because Jaedong, if he wants to move his forces out, has to leave himself a little bit vulnerable. I honestly think he just needs to leave a few roaches behind to defend against the Zergling counterattack, which it seems that he's doing. So he should be okay, as this huge swell of roaches with the roach speed, I mean, they're not gonna be met with too much resistance. There are some banelings here, might soften up the roaches if they get too clumped. There's some speedlings trying to come in, maybe with the flank, try to sandwich the army. Could potentially work, but Jaedong's not gonna bait. He's not gonna be baited in. He steps back. He's looking for a good opportunity to strike. He's not trying to force himself in. And now with additional roaches streaming across the map, I don't know that this is going to be enough. With the +1 attack now complete, Jaedong's roaches will kill Zerglings in 2 shots. And, well, yeah, now he's just going to start to stream in. Let's see, the banelings not having too much of an impact yet. They're caught behind the rest of the units. And Jaedong's roaches are just so big. Look at this, hitting the non-clumped areas of the roaches. Jaedong just has too much. GG, well played from Zanster and the Evil Genius's Zerg player. moves on to the winners match here at the Daily Motion Cup Group B.